is up, awesome people, and welcome back to what is normally Thingamajig Thursday, but for the sake of this video, it will be Thingamajig Thursday, as from probably here on out, unless I decide to make the next unboxing for TCG, I'm the Thingamajig Thursday for later tonight as well. The TCG products that I will be covering, whether it be unboxing or just talking about them, because it's something I would like to actually explore down the track, is actually TCG discussion. We'll actually be going in for its own little section now on the channel because, hey, I'm a big sucker for TCG. I've actually made that quite clear in the past. So I thought, hey, let's actually kind of separate it from Thingamajig Thursday, meaning I have the excuse really to kind of cover TCG anytime throughout the week, which is kind of cool. And not only that, it seems like, from what I can tell, a couple of people have actually approached me and seem to be quite eager about TCG as well. So instead of just limiting it to one day, we'll kind of just either put it on a better day outside of Thursday, whether it be on like a Saturday or something like that, or we make it any time of the week. So that's awesome. So I'm personally looking forward to it. But in the meantime, we do have an unboxing to do, and that is, of course, going to be on the Ultra Prism trainer box. Now, I have one of two trainer boxes here. I've kind of only limited to one this video because the previous trainer kit kind of went for 40 minutes. So if one trainer kit equals 40 minutes, then two trainer kits will probably equal something like nearly 2 hours. So not doing that, we're doing one trainer box. So it gives me a bit of leeway to explain the cards a little bit more as well. So this is the the Duskmane Necrozma trainer kit. The other one, of course, being the Door Wings Necrozmas as well, so that has its own little thing too. So two trainer kits for Ultra Prism, which is really cool. And not only that, I will say this now, I haven't really gone into Ultra Prism all that much. I have actually looked over some of the cards though on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online app. Seems to be a lot of cool cards in this particular expansion, so I'm actually looking forward to open it up. Plus there is actually a new mechanic for Ultra Prism, known as the Prism cards, which are very similar to a very old Ace Tech card back in the 5th generation game where it's only one per deck. So without further ado, let's crack open this bad boy, see what we've got inside, and see what else is in the Elite Trainer Kit, because these are actually quite a beast to open. I actually personally really enjoy opening up the trainer kits. Coming second, of course, to the booster boxes, because they're always an absolute joy to open up. So, like the previous trainer kits, these ones all just slide out like that. So you got yourself a little storage box as well. And this time round, though, we actually have the Duskmane Necrozma on the actual box as well, which is really neat. So, like, there's the cover for it as well. It's just slid off, and there is your Ultra Prism Duskmane box for now. Put that to the side because we have a little player's guide to look at. So this will go through a lot of the cards and plus the current mechanics as well, whether it be GX cards and the Prism cards. We'll also go through some combos as well from the current expansion. So you've got Prism Star cards, you've got GX Take Control, Energy Flexibility, 5 power combos, top trainer cards, and of course the card list for the Ultra Prism. So I'll briefly go over that. Normally I leave it somewhere as well in the videos, so that quickly scrolls through what I've currently got. So the Prism Star cards, as I said, it's only one per deck. You can't load it up like 4x4 like the previous normal cards that we've got. Currently got a Giratina Prism card. It's a Psychic card. It's got 160 HP. It's Chaotic Star ability, which lets you attach 2 energy cards to Giratina from your hand. This particular Giratina card, of course. From your hand, you play onto the bench. Talk about a great head start. It needs energy because its Crisis Dive attack costs 4 Psychic energy cards to do 160 damage, and you have to discard 2 energy cards from it. Combos work well with would be Super Scoop Up, and note that you can use double colorless energy for discard as well. Would that count as 2 energy? I thought it always counted as 1. It says you can use double colorless, so that's interesting, but I wouldn't actually put double colorless on that particular card myself. There's also Lunala. It's Full Star Moon attack for 1 Psychic energy. You attach a energy card from any of your Pokemon from your discard pile to for each Pokemon your opponent has in play, which is awesome for racking up those energy cards. Also has Psystorm. That attack requires 4 Psychic energy cards and does 20 times the total amount of energy attached to all Pokemon in play, not just Lunala. Wow, that's totally not overpowered or anything like that. Thankfully, that's only limited to 1. But that's just an example of some of the Prism Star cards. I could be here all day just trying to explain them, but it's better to explain them as we actually maybe pull them. So I do have a booster pack for this as well, and as you see these go on. We've also got the combo as well. We've got the Common GX that also has a Super Boost Energy, which is one of the new ones for Prism cards, new energy cards, Prism card, which is actually quite cool. And of course, you got your GX cards. We've got Leafeon GX, Glaceon GX. From what I can tell, Glaceon GX is quite a decent card. From at the moment, I've yet to see any meta talk of it yet, but it'd be interesting because it's kind of like Garbodor from one of the older expansions, where if it was in play and had a tool card on it, it was able to negate abilities and all that, except for that particular ability. There's also Door Wings Necrozma GX, we have Duskmane Necrozma GX, and Dialga and Palkia GX plus Sibeli GX as well, which was, pretty sure that was a trainer kit recently? Pretty sure it was. I think I've got that somewhere around. I've got to actually open up. And we've also got, 2 energy cards which seem to be making a return. We've got Old Unit Energy and Unit Energy, which are, from my recollection, that would be like Blend Energy right back from 5th generation, which was often used for the Dragon decks, seeing as how Dragon decks don't have, you know, Dragon energy as per se, but they do require really weird energy combos, like a Dragon card require Water, Steel, or I don't know, like electric fighting and all that. It was like really weird combinations that you would not run in that particular deck. So that's where the particular Blend Energy, or in this case Unit Energy, would come into play. Then we also got some combos. We got like Cynthia and Friends, Meteor Current Connection. Oh, that's like Matt Cornet, Duskmane, Necrozma, and Magnezone. I did actually see that when I was looking through Pokemon Online. We've also got the Super Energy Shuffle. Passman making a bit of a comeback here. It's got double teamwork. We got double Darkrai. I did see that. I was like, don't particularly like looking forward to that particular card. It does actually require you to flip 2 coins instead of 1 to be able to wake up. So 2 heads. Never gonna happen with my coin flips, that's for sure. And then trainer cards, we've got Cynthia, Skateboard, Gardenia, Missing Clother, Power Pad, which has been in the past as well. We've seen that as well in Phantom Forces, as mentioned here as well. Allows you to look at your prize cards, so they're not, no longer flipped down, I do believe, or is that, no, that's something else. It allows you to shuffle 2 support cards from your discard pile back in your deck. I actually run that in one of my decks. It's actually a really powerful card. So you can keep using your supporter cards over and over again, plus refreshing your decks. So if you keep getting really powerful draw power, you can keep putting cards back into your decks. So you're not decking yourself out quite as quick as you normally would. Pokemon Fan Club, which is always lovely to run. And Unidentified Fossil, that'd be for your fossil Pokemon. So that seems to be making a bit of a return as the fossil Pokemon. And of course, we've got our card list. So that'll be just a quick flip over because, as I said, that'll kind of be filled in when we start pulling some cards like the booster pack, booster box and all that. So yes, there are some secret rares. There's also some rainbow rares as well, rainbow full arts. So that's the trainer kit, the player's guide. So up next is, of course, what's in the box? What's in the box? Let's open the box and find out. So from there, you just take up the top, and as always, you get yourself some card sleeves, which is always great. I love having card sleeves, especially if you're a hardcore collector or a hardcore player and you love keeping your cards in mint condition. Always card sleeve your cards. That's what I recommend. Just card sleeve them. Even if you're pulling cards as well from booster packs, you're just a collector, keep some card sleeves on hand, because you pull any holos or any secret rares or rainbow rares and all that, sleeve them. Although I do recommend for like your secret rares and your rainbow holos and all that, get some top deck loaders, because they're a lot more sturdier for protection, and plus over time your holos and all that. Anything with that holo looky on it thing, they tend to bend after some time if you keep them in heat or in light and all that. Light's another thing as well, because you do tend to get a little bit of fading on the cards as well. So if you're finicky like that with collecting with or even just using cards, sleeve them or top deck them. I mean, I'm top decking at the moment some Tapu Lele cards. But otherwise, if you're super maniac, I really should be using medical gloves, really, if I'm doing card opening, but I'm not that finicky about, obviously, card quality. As well as that, we get some dice. I personally need to keep opening up my trader kits because I need some dice at the moment. I'm struggling for dice. I go to these card events, I'm like, I really need more dice. Also get some energy cards. I'm kind of got too many energy cards. I've got energy cards flowing out the wazoo at the moment, so that's great. As I said, I can't complain. I do need energy cards Although if you were to have a look at my energy card stock at the moment, it's insane. So if you're running low on energy, the trainer kits have got you covered. And as well as that, we have our tokens. These are great. I've gone to the TCG events every month, and when I bring these out, they go, ooh, these are fancy. So a lot more hardy and sturdy than what's the flimsy paperback ones you get out of the theme decks and all that. So it kind of is worth it just for the dice and the tokens, plus your GX token as well for your GX cards and all that. The dice work better than damage counters, just a lot more quicker and effective. You don't have to keep counting out your 10s, your 50s, and your 100s and all that, and tokens just go everywhere. Dice have been a godsend. And on top of that, we also get the code for the trainer kit. That'll give you some sleeves. That'll give you a deck box as well, I do believe. I think that's what that gave me when I put it into my Pokemon online. And we get some dividers as well, so you can put them in your deck boxes. You can put them back into the trainer kit as well if you are using that for a storage box. That works perfectly fine for a storage box too. I've done that before. If I've opened up cards for a video, I'll actually put them back in the trainer kit. And then when I come back to storage or for storing them out in my folders, my binders and all that, I will actually pull them out of the trainer kit. But I had the dividers as dividing them up as like reverse holos, my holos, secret rares, or just rares and all that. And then all my commons be like in another divide as well. And the last but not least, we get booster packs! And quite a lot of them too. I think it was like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I was gonna say it's normally 8 for a trainer kit. So 8 booster packs. So that's always top notch. Like, really, you can get the trainer kit just for the sleeves, the dice, the tokens, and the energy cards. I mean, that's always a plus. But the booster packs is what makes it really worth it, because you also get some cards out of it. And since it's 10 cards each, that's 80 cards just there, just sitting right in front of you. 80 cards plus all that. It's really worth the value, actually, of the trainer kits. I love trainer kits if you haven't worked it out. So that's why I said I really, really need to open up more trainer kits so I can just get rid of this enthusiasm I have just for opening up these trainer kits. As I said, this has been sitting there for so long. I look at them, I feel disappointed because I'm like, I should be opening these bad boys, but I'm not. So when it does come to opening up, you can just, I guess you can feel the enthusiasm, the energy just spew through the screen, because that's just how excited I am. It's just built up after all that time. And I'm blabbing again, so here we go. Let's open up a pack just to shut me up. Alright, and the first one I get, I'm struggling to open. That's always a good sign. Alright, I got it, but it's stuck on the packaging. Hey, I finally got it. That probably sounds really annoying too on the microphone. Alright, so every booster pack gives you a code as well, so unlike the other code which only gives you like accessories and all that for gameplay, as I said, I think it's sleeves and all that, these ones will actually give you the actual booster packs. So booster packs normally on Pokemon Trading Card Online are like 200 coins or something like that, which is a couple of battles, a couple of login bonuses as well. I've been lazy, I've been doing online battles, so I think it's something like maybe a week or 2 login bonuses to actually give you 1 booster pack. That could even be a theme box. I could be incorrect on that. Actually, I think a theme box is like 300 coins. I don't know, I'll verify that and I'll probably post a screenshot of it or something like that. So note to self when I'm editing this video. So from there we have Glenmeow. I'm gonna zoom this in. Okay, we've got Glenmeow with Gentle Bite. We have a Drifloon. We have Malul. So this is the fairy variation. I think I mentioned that as last time as well for Burning Shadows. There was a grass variant in the original Sun and Moon. We have Cosmog, always fun. We have Execute. Our reverse rare is going to be Magnezone. So reverse holo plus rare Magnezone. We did see that actually with Mount Corner and the Dialga. I nearly said Solgaleo for a second. It could have been Solgaleo. Anyways, we got Magnezone. So Magnetic Circuit. This one's going to be a bit hard to read because it's the reverse rare. So Light Everywhere. No, I can't block that out. Ability, Magnetic Circuit. As often as you light during your turn before you attack, you may attach a Steel Energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So, times 2 energy for 1 turn. Nice. And of course, Zap Cannon requires 3 Steel Energy, 1 energy of any type, 130 damage. This Pokemon can't use Zap Cannon during your next turn. Damn, that is actually a really good card. No wonder that was suggested. And guess what, guys? First booster pack. I'm so excited, as you can tell I can't talk English. first booster pack. Bum! I can't believe it. That's, as I said, first pull, and I got Celestial GX. Awesome, and it's a full art. Oh, that's so, oh, sweet. Nice. Oh man, okay, Rocket Fall, 30 base damage. So 1 Steel Energy card, 2 energy cards of any type. This attack does 30 more damage from each star in your opponent's active Pokemon retreat cost. So if they're having an opposing Celesteela, what was it, extra 30, so that would be a grand total of 120 extra damage up against Celesteela, so that'd be 150 damage if you had something like a Choice Band or something like that. I think it's Choice Band, it does extra damage if they are GX or EX card or something like that. That would be a grand total of, I've lost count, what am I up to, 180 or something like that. So that's amazing damage just right there. Moon Press for 130 damage as well, so if you did that beforehand, did 130 damage and then run off with the Rocket Fall. If it was something with like 2 stars of retreat or something like that, still do a lot of damage, but I think a lot of GX cards have a retreat cost of 3 or something like that, depending on what the Pokemon is, of course. So that'll be doing at least somewhere around 90 to 120 damage most times, which is really cool. So makes sense, it's got a decent amount of energy cost there, plus you can team it up with the Magnezone as well, Magnetic Circuit, put the Steel energy card onto the Celesteela. That will make it at least start building up some energy cards for that. Plus the Blaster GX, 180 damage, 4 energy cards needed, 3 of them being any type, plus 1 Steel energy card. Turn all of your prize cards face up. These prize cards remain face up for the remaining of the game. Plus that amazing 180 damage, so that will nearly take out a Celestial GX. That would take out quite a lot of cards too if their health is around 200 damage, so that would be quite a lot of GX cards. So that is a pretty sweet card. I am so glad I pulled that. That is going straight in a sleeve, and I've come unprepared and didn't have any sleeves on hand, so do I have a... I do. I have a binder from one of the old videos we did, so I can just put them in there. Because as I said, holo, that they bend really quickly if you leave them out for too long. And especially with the current Australian heat, with it being humid and all that, it's going to bend. So I can't get it in this, there we go. There we go, I just can't forget that it's in there, because otherwise I'll forget it's in there, I'll come along and find the binder in like 2 months time and like, oh yeah, I pulled a Celestial GX, didn't I? When I could have actually made a deck around it. We also got a Psychic Energy card, so because we're around to the new mechanic, I do believe they're going to be putting in energy cards again, so plus all the energy cards you got from the trainer kit from there, which is something like quite a bit, as you can tell it's quite thick. You also get energy cards from Ultra Prism, so you shouldn't be having energy problems if you were to be get the trainer kit. You get 8 at least, 1 energy card per booster pack, so 8 extra from the booster packs, and if you had more booster packs or a booster box at least from Ultra Prism, you should be fine for energy cards, since most decks would require at least about 10 to 20 energy cards, unless it's a very specialized deck that sometimes doesn't need as many energy cards. I've personally won one before, I think I needed 8 at that time. Moving on, Pokemon Fan Club, which is another decent card. Search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. So that card would allow me to draw for Celestial GX, because that was a basic Pokemon card. Basically, it can let you search for a lot of those really cool basic card Pokemon. So things like Dialga, Palkia, Necrozma, Duskwinds, and Dawn. I've 2 Necrozma cards. I can't pronounce names at the moment, as you can tell. Moving on, Prinplup, and we got Looker Whistle, so that allows us to search your deck for 2 cards named Looker, reveal them, put in your hand, then shuffle your deck. So sounds like there's going to be some cards revolved around Looker. Hopefully you pull Looker just so we can see what he does. So sweet, that was an awesome pull for an awesome first booster pack. Can't get any better than that, so watch all the booster packs now just go down in quality. They're all like commons and all that. The rares aren't holo or anything like that. I don't think oh yeah, I was going to say the reverse rare can't be, sorry, reverse holo can't be your holo, so, alright. Another code card. That one's actually different. What gives? They're different. I mean, it still does the same thing, but, you know, that slightly triggers me that it's slightly different. Anyways, we have Shinx coming up as our first Pokemon. Evolutionary Advantage. If you go second as Pokemon evolved during your first turn, So that gives us into Luxio and then Luxray. I do believe Luxray has a decent move pool this expansion, which is really cool to see. Yanma, which is a real basic grass type Pokemon. I don't know how good Yanmega is. Bronzor, typical Bronzor with Hypnosis and Spinning Attack, very, very basic indeed. We also have Gibbles, so Garchomp has a bit of a presence in this particular expansion. We did mention Cynthia a little bit earlier in the actual player's guide, so keep that in mind. Rock Hiding, if this Pokemon has any fighting energy cards attached to it, this has no retreat cost. Not much of a retreat cost there, it's only got one, so if you really wanted, well, really iffy about your retreat cost, just throw a Float Stone on it, to be perfectly honest. If you don't have that option, to go for ability. Petal Dance on Roselia. We have the reverse Holo Bizzle. And then our rare is Drapion. Unfortunately, no holo on that one. Dangerous Stinger for 4 psychic energy cards, 100 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed and poisoned. Ooh, the double status there, plus its paralysis, so can't attack, plus the poison, so every turn it does 10 or 20 damage, I can't remember off the top of my head. So that's the thing. We also have Dark Energy cards, I'm always in need of them. Escape Board, the retreat cost of Pokemon that this card is attached to is 1 star less, and it can retreat even if it's asleep or paralyzed. Ah! Awesome! So normally when you're paralyzed or asleep, you can't retreat, they're kind of just taken away from you because of the effects of that particular status, but this particular item card actually prevents that, so you can retreat. So I wonder if that means they're still asleep or paralyzed when they retreat back to the bench, because normally they lose status, I think, if you go back to the bench. I can't quite remember that one, but that's an interesting one to keep in hand. We have Grottle, and then we have Cynthia, which shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards, which is kind of like the old Shauna cards and all that from 6th generation. It's the only one that came to my head at the time. Which are really nice cards to have, because instead of discarding and putting them and then drawing cards, which is like the Professor cards normally, you can actually shuffle them back into your deck and draw a brand new hand with 6 cards. So extremely handy if you're struggling with a really bad hand, so you don't have to discard them and lose them. You can actually put them back in your deck and hope you can draw them later down the track, or just hope you don't redraw them, as I've done so many times in the past. Alright, that was pack 2. We have 6 packs left, so let's hope for some beauties. I mean, normally with the trainer kits, I walk away with at least 3 good cards, so I mean, if that's about the average, then as I said, it's probably worth picking up a trainer kit just for that. See, it's a different one again! Anyways, that's another code. We have Riolu, so there's a Lucario in this expansion. We have Croagunk, Eevee, we have Vulpix, and Diglett. That's a low-end Diglett, nice, and it's a steel card. We also have Licky Licky, who is also a rare card as well, so Licky Licky is going to be one of those trolls that you can pull as a holo or a non-holo. It's got Dangerous Lick and Rolling Tongue. Dangerous Lick for base 50 damage, requires 3 energy cards of any type. Flip a coin until you get Tails, attack does 50 more damage for each head. If the first flip is Tails, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Hey, I could potentially run that without fear of actually, you know, buggering it up, because I don't tend to flip heads an awful lot, so if my first flip is a Tails, which is a good chance of it, I'll do 50 base damage, plus I'll paralyze the opponent, which is nice. Plus Rolling Tackle, 4 energy cards of any type, or 2 double colorless, which is the great beauty about colorless cards, I can just run that, so 4 becomes 2. 110 damage, no extra effects, so that's nice. And our rare for this one, which is actually a holo card, for once, is Luxray, so I mentioned this one. Ability is Intimidating Fang. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's active Pokemon attacks do 30 less. So it's the equivalent of Intimidate from the actual games, which is nice. Volt Bolt, 2 electric cards, 1 card of any type. It is fixed damage at this point because there's no no damage mentioned on the side. Discard all energy cards from this Pokemon. This attack does 150 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Do not apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. Meaning if they've got a weak Pokemon on the bench or a decent Pokemon that's already taken damage and they've got less than 150 health remaining, go for that Volt Bolt. You will have to discard all energy cards on that particular Luxray. Boom, there goes that particular card. No resistance is done. Even though they do have a resistance to electric, they will still take the 150 damage. The only time weakness and resistance will come into play, of course, if you are attacking the active Pokemon for 150. I guess that's when the you scoop up cards or super scoop up, something like that. Something that allows you to get energy cards back from the discard pile will be very handy for that particular Luxray, because discarding 2 energy cards is going to be quite draining after a while. Unless there's a quick way of getting energy cards back onto Luxray. That's about my only concern about that particular card. Anyways, we've got Grass energy card, we've got a Printplup, we've got the Unit energy, nice! So the blend energy, in other words, for Electric, Psychic, and Steel. So this provides, this card provides a colorless energy. While this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides either, as I said, the Electric, Psychic, or Steel energy, but provides only 1 energy at a time. So special energy means only 4 per deck. And of course the last one being a lower Ductrio. So we've got Diglett and the Ductrio for that particular pack. So nice. And I think both of those as well was no energy cards. So these ones just go straight onto the field. Don't need an energy card, you can just play them. So Gold Rust for no energy card at all, times 30 damage. Discard any number of Steel energy cards attached from your hand. This card does 30 damage for each card you discarded in this way. So it's kind of great if you've used something that allows you to grab a huge number of energy cards into your hand. I'm not too sure what amount of corn it does off the top of my head, so whether that takes it to your hand or takes it to any Pokemon, unless you've got a way of scooping up energy cards, discard them off, put them in the graveyard, do damage, and then you can even potentially, if it is from the discard pile to the Pokemon on the field or something like that, kind of makes a free energy card for you to use. I hope that made sense, because it probably didn't. Basically what I was trying to say, free cards are put in the discard pile, and then abuse abilities that make energy cards go from the discard pile into your hand. I'm pretty sure Magnezone did that. Let's throw back from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Nope, it's from the hand. Never mind. Alright, next pack. Okay, just to trigger me even more, it's got a different back on it. Another code. Alright, so this time around we have a Sneasel. So there's a Weavile in this deck. We've got Eevee, we've got Magma, another Molol, Piplup, and then we've got a Alolan Vulpix as our reverse holo. So raw for no energy cards, your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon, and Icy Snow for 10 damage. We have Toxicroak as our rare but non-holo. So Poison Jab for 30 damage, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. And for 2 energy cards of any types, or double colorless in other words, Exact Revenge, 50 plus damage. If any of your fighting Pokemon were knocked out by damage from your opponent's attack during their last turn, this attack does 70 more damage. So this will be running in a purple and brown deck by the sounds of it. So neato. The pretty interesting deck actually. So it'd be like probably with Garchomps and all that. Actually, I think that's a dragon card, not a fighting card, because I'm pretty sure Gible was a dragon. Never mind. Metal Energy coming up next. We have the Power Pad. There we go. Shuffle 2 supporter cards from your discard pile into your deck. Awesome item card, plus you can use as many of these as you'd like per turn because it is an item, not a supporter card. So feel free to load up 4 of them in your deck because you'll be using a lot of supporter cards most likely. Yanmega! So we did draw Yanma last time, and Yanmega is up next. Oh, I've actually used this card. It was in one of my theme decks. Supersonic for 30 damage, 1 grass energy as well. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. And Cutting Wind for 4 energy or 2 double colorless, 120 damage. So it is an alright card. If you don't have the double colorless though, it is very slow to get that very nice damage going off. Last but not least is Looker. Draw 3 cards from the bottom of your deck, which is where that Looker's Whistle comes into play, and that's actually not a bad card. So if you know something's at the bottom of your deck, whether it be putting cards at the bottom of your deck, because there are cards that let you do that, that card comes in handy. So there's probably a really interesting strategy you could do with putting cards at the bottom of the deck, or just doing that just to draw cards from the bottom. Okay, we have 4 boosters left. Yeah, and it's gone too quick. As soon as I get into mood for opening up booster packs, the time just like flies by. I mean, we've pulled some decent cards so far. I can't complain with what we've pulled. That Celesteela GX is always the bomb. We have Licky Tongue again, Bizzle, Eevee. We have Salander, so there's a Salazzle in this expansion as well, which is nice to know. We have Turtwig, we have Pachirisu as our reverse holo, Snuggly Generator for each of your bench Pokemon that has Nuzzle. Attack, search your deck for an electric energy card and attach it to that Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. Of course, Pachirisu has Nuzzle as well, so I mean, it's great if you're kind of going for that real gimmick aspect there. If they've got Nuzzle, you can put a energy card straight onto that. But it could be a little bit redundant and end up having energy cards on a card, or too many energy cards on a card that you don't particularly want cards on, unless you've got a way of like switching energy cards around. That's my only little nitpick with that particular strategy, I guess. Our rare, if of course, is a Loan Executor. Now, I remember reading this card and was like, this would be an interesting little gimmick deck to run. Executor Paradise is the first move for no energy cards for each of your bench execute. Bleh, can't talk. Search your deck for an Alone Executor and Alone Executor GX, so it does search for both, and put it onto execute and evolve it, then shuffle your deck. Of course, that would apply with the evolution rules, I do believe, so if you just place an execute down on the bench, it can't evolve that turn unless that bypasses that particular rule, which I don't think it does. Last move, of course, being Draco Meteor Barrage 80 times for 1 grass energy and 2 energy cards of any type, or a double colorless. Flip a coin for each grass energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 80 damage for each head. That's very similar to the original Gen 1 Executor, which for those of you who watched my TCG playthrough of that would know that I had 8 energy cards on Executor and I flipped 2 heads. Meaning I would probably never get any damage. So that'd be times 0. Fun! Not using that card just for that move. I might use like another Executor if there is any other Executors. I don't know. I'll have to try and work around that somehow. Fairy Energy card is our next card. We have a Gabite, so we've got 2 out of 3 for the Garchomp line. We have Ascension, search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it on this Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. Kind of similar to an old Gabite card I have from 5th generation, except it allows you to search for a Dragon type card, then put it into your hand. It was kind of the quicker way of getting Garchomp in your hand, or even a couple of other Dragon cards. And slash for 40 damage with 2 energy cards of any type or a double colorless. Drift Blim is our second last card, and we have Rotom. So ability of Rotom Motor. If you have 9 or more Pokemon tools in your discard pile, ignore an energy card energy in the attack cost of each of this Pokemon's attacks. So basically, from what I could see, was there was a whole bunch of Rotoms. They all had this particular ability, so you could build a really gimmicky Rotom deck. Not too sure how effective it would be. Load it up with item cards. Oh, sorry, tool cards, boom, 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 get rid of 9, and then you'd have no energy cost, meaning you could use all types of Rotom. It was an interesting idea, but I don't know how effective it would be since you had to actually pull those tool cards. So maybe using a support card that would allow you to get some tools in your hand would be cool, but as I said, I don't know how effective it would be. I mean, 120 damage on Plasma Slice, if you got to ignore the energy costs, make it 0. That'd be pretty cool, plus only downside would be that you couldn't attack the next turn, which was the effect of Plasma Slice. So, I mean, it would be cool, but I can see the downsides of it. Alright, so third last pull is going to be Slandit, Execute, so Continuous Explosion. The original card was actually, move was called Explosion, or Big Bang Egg Explosion or something like that. So, throwbacks to Generation 1 with that particular card I see. Nice. Yanma, Drifloon, Bizzle, and our reverse holo is Shaman. Nice to see that coming back. Really cool Shaman card, of course, from 5th generation. There's actually a video I'm working on at the moment that actually shows off Shaman Skyform EX quite well, actually. So that's a rare card as well. First move is Coax. Search your deck for 3 basic Pokemon of different types and put them onto your bench and shuffle your deck. Hey, that's actually not too bad. If you're using a multicolored deck, considering the fact that it only needs a energy card of any type, that works in any deck. Nice, you just use it just for that and throw it away. Big balla boom. And plus it's not an EX or GX card, so it only requires 1 prize card as well. And of course the other move being Soothing Scent, 30 damage, 1 grass energy, 1 energy card of any type. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep, so Coax is actually kind of the way to go with that particular card. Licky Licky, of course, is our rare. We've already looked at Licky Licky. We got that as a reverse holo. Psychic Energy card. We got Electric Memory. That was for Savali GX. That does turn it into electric type Pokemon. Pretty simple. And we got Identified Fossil. If this card was to be played, it were a 60 HP colorless basic Pokemon. At any time during your turn, before you attack, you may discard this card from play. This card can't retreat, of course. So, I would say the 2 fossil cards are going to be... What was the fossils for 4th generation? I do believe that was Bastiodon and was the other one? Rampardos. I nearly blanked on the fossils. And Rotom came out again. So nice, we get to see, sorry, not Amoldo, that's third generation. We get to see Rampardos and Bassodon come back into play, and I'm pretty sure one of them is actually a pretty decent card. Alright, second last pack. I'm actually going to open up this one pretty quickly, actually. Okay, first card, Gible. And we have Electabuzz, so Electabuzz is in this deck as well. I did see Magma, so Magmortar's in this deck. Chimchar, Pachirisu. We got the Alolan Sandshrew. We got the Reverse Holo Luxray. And we also pulled a Type Null, so we now have the evolution set up basically for Savelli GX. First move is Merciless Strike. This is also a rare card as well. 30 plus damage for 2 energy cards of any type or double colorless. If your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, this attack does 30 more damage for a total of 60. Does work well if you have Team Magma's Secret Base, I do believe it was called, which basically allowed it, so it was a stadium card as well. Any basic Pokemon that got put on to play on the bench, they already took 20 damage, or 10, one of the two, so that already power up Merciless Strike. It was kind of the strategy to use with Drampa GX and Berserk. And the last move is Headbang for 70 damage and 3 energy cards of any type, or a double colorless and 1 energy card of anything, or a double colorless if you're running Savelli GX. I'm assuming that's going to be 4 or even more energy cards to be able to use its second move. Finding energy card, Electric Memory again, Stunk Tank, and Purugly. I can't believe Purugly's only an uncommon. Alright, last pack. Alright, Riolu, Gible, Croagunk, Turtwig, Roselia, Gible as the reverse holo, and our rare is Roserade, unfortunately as a non-holo. Ah, well. That got Inviting Poison. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with this, with their active Pokemon, and your active Pokemon is now poison, so spreading that poison around is always lovely. And its second move is Flower Tornado for 100 damage, 2 grass energy, and 1 energy card of any type. Move any number of grass energy from your Pokemon to other Pokemon any way you like. Nice, I like effects like that. So it means you can set up a bit the field, whether it be using a just a photo Pokemon to set up the energy cards on the bench or whatever, and then just use that move it around to where you need it, whether it be on a GX card or whatnot, and boom, you just throw up 100 damage or set up another Pokemon if Roserade's about to go down. Bada bing, bada bong, the battle or the duel may even go in your favour. Fairy energy card, Honchkrow. I love Honchkrow, just a shame it's gone down to the that looks like, it's not basic, I think it's like uncommon. I wonder what the other one was then. Mount Cornet, nice! Once during a player's turn, the player may put 2 Steel Energy cards from their discard pile into their hand. Oh! Now, what was that card mentioning where you could discard Steel Energy cards from your hand into your discard pile? I do believe that was the Alolan Dugtrio. For no energy cost, you could throw as many Metal Energy cards from your hand into the discard pile to power up that particular move. Play the Mount Cornet Stadium card. Once during your turn, you can then take the discard pile and put it back into your hand, which means you can then activate Magnezone's ability to put those energy cards onto the field. I think it was like 1 energy card per turn, meaning there's an endless cycle there. Oh boy, that's a dangerous combo. That's going to be causing some shenanigans, I do believe. And then Tornado is our last card. And there we have it. There's all the cards from that particular trainer kit. And of course, it's 40 minutes into recording, so of course, I'm quite lucky I didn't do the second trainer kit. We'd be here all day. Alrighty, so I hope you guys enjoyed that opening. And if you were interested in a trainer kit for Ultra Prism, that's what it comes with. Kind of the same thing every expansion as well. But as I said, it is kind of worth it if you are a collector or even a competitive player. Comes with everything for everyone there. A storage kit, energy cards, dice, tokens and all that. And plus 8 booster packs. Can't complain for both ends. It's awesome. I actually do recommend picking up the trainer kits. And of course, you also get 8 codes for the Pokemon trading card game online if you are into those shenanigans as well. So I'll be going straight on to that, redeeming those codes as well and seeing what I pull on there. Alright, so I think that's it for me. So whether or not the next TCG card opening will be underneath the news series or back underneath Thingamajig Thursday if I decide to do another video after this and editing goes quickly, is yet to be determined. But hopefully I either think up the official name for the series as well. That's another thing that's really plaguing me at the moment. So if anyone's got any ideas for what to call the new series, leave them down in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll be using whatever lame name I think up. So until next time, this is Lady KrimZen saying, ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!